High Tension is a French slasher film. When a couple goes to visit some family, a murderer hunts down the two women for some nefarious reasons. The film was controversial upon its release for its extreme brutality and grotesque nature. Howdy folks, welcome back to Garage Slasher-thon, where every day for the month of October we revisit a slasher movie. Darker lighting today. We're getting closer to the spooky day, and I want to get into the mood. So I put a few lights off and kind of did the fucking, what do you call that? I don't know. There's a word for it. I'm in film school, I should know it. Fuck me. Anyway, today we're talking about High Tension. I want to apologize because this review was supposed to come out before the Behind the Mask review, but I lost my SD card, so I needed to switch things around a bit. Another thing now that we're talking about the marathon is I reviewed Terror Firmer. I was about to say Planet Terror. Terror Firmer, I did a review for that, and it got age restricted. I'm not going to edit it, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So if you're looking for one, it's because you're a child. Yeah, the 2000s sucked for horror movies. Awful decade for horror. There was really good movies that came out in the 2000s. There was a lot of great indie movies. But as in terms of horror, it's not the decade to go to. Everything had like this weird style. But meanwhile in France, you had these really cool horror movies coming out. These French extremism movies. Movies like High Tension, what we're talking about now, but also movies like À l'intérieur. Martyrs is another one. That one is Québécois, I believe. But yeah, just the French were just like, you know what? America's not pulling their load. Let's just fucking make the most disgusting, disturbing shit possible. And boy, did they do that. The French are neck and neck with Japan in terms of being the most depraved country in the world. We talked about Evil Dead Trap earlier in this marathon, but the French come close to the Japanese when it comes to depravity. Somehow the French are more depressed than the Japanese. What's up with that? You know, like in high school, I took a philosophy class, and all the English thinkers were like, what is our purpose in the world? And all the French ones, like Jean-Paul Sartre, were like, life is meaningless. There's no point to life existing. It's useless. It's all useless. And that really shows in their film. You know you're watching a French movie when it has nihilism, cigarettes, and lesbians. Those are the three trademarks of a French movie. Yeah, this movie is completely depraved, which is why people like it. It's just got, like, the most feeling when you watch it. The movie opens with a slasher, and he's in his truck, and he's getting a blowjob. And he's getting a blowjob by a decapitated head. And he just throws the head out of the window when he's done. Yeah. Speaking of the slasher, this is the most disgusting slasher ever. No one is gonna be dressing up as this guy for Halloween. Jason, maybe. Freddy, maybe. You know, Michael Myers, you know? No one's dressing up like this guy. No one wants to be associated with that. The closest comparison I can do to this guy is Harvey Weinstein. A little gangrenous, a little gross, some kind of booze disorder. Not the most charming fella. Nobody's dressing up as Harvey Weinstein for Halloween. Yikes. So yeah, this slasher is disgusting. And I liked this movie for the most part, and we'll get to what I didn't like about the movie, and the flaw of this movie is really its ending. But besides that, great revenge movie. I like me a good revenge movie. It reminded me of this French movie I saw not that long ago called Revenge, but just this really bloody, disgusting French revenge movie with a sense of nihilism. It really felt good to watch. And you really get to see this character's arc. Like, when she becomes a badass, you actually kind of buy it. The cops aren't doing anything. She's like, okay, I'm taking matters into my own hands. My girlfriend is gonna get raped. So I better do something about it. If I wait on the cops, ain't nothing gonna happen. And the kills are really gruesome in this, obviously. Like, there's one part where, like a fucking railing on the staircase, the guy has his head stuck in the bars, which was my nightmare as a kid. I was always scared of getting my head stuck between those bars, and this guy just rams a bookshelf through that guy, and his head just flies off. There's some brutal kills in this, and I really liked it. Had a good feeling of like a cat and mouse movie, just like this endless chase, and it really kept me entertained throughout the whole movie. It was a really well made revenge flick, a cat and mouse chase. I was really in with it. The one thing in the first two acts that I didn't like was some of the music choices. At some point, when the girl's becoming a badass, they start playing Muse. Look into yourself. Don't get me wrong, I like me a good Muse song. When I'm on the treadmill, put a Muse song, I can run for a good hour. But it just didn't fit in this movie. It felt like Twilight. Twilight did the same thing with the Supermassive Black song. Yeah, so it didn't fit in this movie. No diss on Muse. Their early shit slaps. I don't know what they've been doing lately, but it's not good. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk about it. There's a huge elephant in the room right now. The ending. One of the worst endings to a movie ever, by far. So it turns out, cat and mouse movie. The slasher kidnaps the girl's girlfriend. She's out for revenge. She becomes a badass. But there's a twist. You see, the slasher and the woman seeking revenge were the same person this whole time. We got a little Fight Club twist. A little Fight Club twist. They were the same person. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? They were the same person this whole time? So fucking dumb, bro. Let me give you guys a little history lesson, because I'm well versed in the cinematic arts. Nowadays, the cliche twist ending is, wait, it was part of a cinematic universe? Morbius, at the end, Michael Keaton shows up and he's like, you and I should team up. That's like the cliche 2023 ending to a movie. Back in the early 2000s, the cliched ending was, wait, it was all in his head. They were the same person this whole time. Ooh! It's the kind of ending I hate to a movie, There is no foreshadow into it, they just shoehorned it in. What the fuck? Honestly. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the movie. It really pissed me off. I hate a movie with a shitty twist ending. Guys, have you seen this movie? What do you think of it? If you have different thoughts on the ending, which I doubt, let me know, but